Chen Lin, gunsmith.
What's this audio log about? I can't hear
to
it.
speak to this so-called false
It's Fitzroy saying that basically she is realizing that, like, the Vox Populi are being blamed for everything that's going on, with Booker killing a bunch of people, and then she slowly realizes, but maybe I could use him, and that's when they come and get you to do this. Why that audio log is here, I don't know, because that audio log is here in the place of the guy that makes the guns, when she went to go get you to get the guy that makes the guns, so it makes no sense, but it is there.
It kind of feels like... I think at a certain point in this game, they kind of, like... Probably, again, because of the pacing and, like, stitching thing, they kind of had to, like, just take the audio logs less as, like, a diegetic story delivery method and more as, like, a... Alright, here's just, like... This is just kind of an abstract thing we're going to use to continue telling the story with.
Basically. I would almost prefer it if they just triggered audio blobs as you entered certain volumes. Like, you enter a space and it just starts playing it.
Comstock doesn't cater to idols getting worship that ain't him. Hello? Hello? Mr. Lin?
Man. Oh, that's right. So the place has been raided, I think, by the time we get here.
Right.
Someone worked this place over. Local constabulary, no doubt.
Oh, this is where the game lost me, actually. Like, I mean, obviously I wasn't, like, super thrilled with a lot of the other stuff, but, like, this is where they make a decision with how this story is told. It's, like, I think a very bad idea.
Oh, yeah.
No, the story is about to go very much off the rails. Like, completely.
Excuse me.
Off the sky rail.
Man, I'm sorry to bother you. We're looking for Mr. Lin.
Yeah, so
Mr. Chen Lin.
there's two parts where this game totally broke for me, and this is the first one.
Gone?
Because...
Flying squad. I pray God.
So, like, the premise here
it's
is that
gonna... Right.
the gunsmith dude is gone. It's just like it's over. Like, we're not gonna get.
I mean,
it back.
we haven't found his body yet, so we're gonna have to go and find it, and then we'll find that he's dead. And it's like, oh no, our convoluted plan to get an airship has fallen through, and there's no other way off of Columbia, I guess. So
not to be, like, a pedant, but, like, wouldn't the existence of an airship getting, like, to leave Columbia, wouldn't that necessitate the infrastructure to support an airship docking elsewhere than Columbia? Like, wouldn't you, like, if we're going to go to New York, wouldn't you need New York to have an airship dock?
It does.
I mean, they had stuff like that at this point. I mean,
Still does.
Like,
yeah,
just
yeah.
blimps?
I mean, you know, the Empire State Building was originally designed to be, like, the top spire was supposed to be an airship mooring. Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Sure.
It's our first hand in that
No,
fight.
you guys are lying to me.
Look it up.
Okay.
These fights suck.
Oh, I'm a little busy, Elizabeth.
Oh my
I don't
fucking
remember how
god.
to fight these things.
Yeah.
You have to stun them and shoot them in the heart is basically what it is, but it's still unfun. Like, even when you're doing it right, it sucks.
How is one to stun this man?
Shock,
Is there aim assist for that if you're using a controller? Because, like, this is hard enough on a mouse. Especially since the frame rate on this game really isn't very good, and I kind of mean that almost whatever machine you're playing it on.
This says that it was a publicity stunt. The whole air mass thing was just like, one day we'll have airships, and they'll come to New York.
It's pretty much just airships in a nutshell, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's pretty funny though. Like, that's like the futuristic feature that you're designing.
This is like information I wish I didn't know, because it's almost a little depressing to me. I don't know why.
Just to think like, you know, this should have happened. This should have been reality.
Yeah.
I get that sometimes too. When I'm like looking stuff up, and it's like, here's this really like cool future people were setting out for that like just turned out to be totally impractical.
See how I might have changed your sense of that.
You protected me.
Job's a job.
I guess that's why you make speculative fiction. Either that, or because you want to look like you're saying something about racism.
Or you just think blimps are cool. You just like Gears a lot. Sorry.
No, it's fine. I was just gonna rant because like there's very little that annoys me in like an immersive sim more than like areas that require one lockpick to open, and then when you open it, you get some stuff and one lockpick. So it's effectively free if you spend the resource. Sorry, that just irritates me.
When you played Skyrim and you got the master skeleton key that lets you open any door, did you keep it or did you give it back to the goddess lady?
Is that a required quest? I don't know if I ever did that.
It isn't. No.
Thieves Guild.
Oh, I don't play Thief. Stealthing is hard.
What? What about Assassin? Do you like...
No, I don't murder people.
How do you... Why do you
Skyrim
bother...
without murdering people? Like, what?
Why do you bother playing an Elder Scrolls game if you're not going to be a thief or a murderer? I don't understand.
That's basically what those games are. Skyrim also lets you murder butterflies.
I don't want to talk about that. That fucked me up the first time. I was like, oh, I'm going to catch a butterfly. Oh my god.
So I wonder who murdered that guy and put Sacked up there. Like,
What do you want, Fink?
Johnny Sacks.
The Imagineers did. The magical world of Imagineering.
The Fink Club is shut down for renovations while the Imagineers swap out the corpse for a different one.
At night, the Imagineers work really hard at the Fink factory to add that little bit of immersion for you, the player.
On December 1st, Imagineers string Christmas lights around the corpse.
Oh, fuck.
It's like sprinkled fake snow in his hair. And they also add Santas over Sacked.
I totally forgot about this too.
Yeah, this is our like... this is our audition. Oh, this is fun. Like, I didn't like this section because the combat in this game is very bad, but, like, this is a fun premise. Like, I like how zany it is. I like, you know, it's kind of... It's like taking this theme to its logical conclusion in a way which feels, like, very classic villainy.
it's classic Bioshock, I'll give it that. The pageantry combined with, like, the one notable psychopath giving you, like, you know, a ridiculous trial by combat. Yeah.
Booker, I found these salts where you're standing right now. Catch them after you walk away from me.
I think this is the closest the game gets to trying to do its own Sander Cohen scene.
Yeah, Sander Cohen was cool.
Oh.
I mean, it wasn't cool in the sense that, like, I personally would enjoy being Sander Cohen's friend. No, I would.
This young goal-getter is a former devotee of Lady Comstock.
But even then, Sander Cohen had the thing where, like, there were bespoke assets for his area where all of the splicers wore the bunny masks and it had sort of this Overlook Hotel vibe thing going on. These are just normal enemies, and he's saying that they're, like, wacky special guys, but they're just normal enemies.
Yeah. Probably a late edition. I appreciate that, like, when it came to Sander Cohen and Bioshock 1, like, they already had the, like, plastic surgeon dude, and in a lot of ways, they're sort of the same character, but they're just like, let's just do it again. Come on.
It's a double beat, but
Why
who
do
cares?
they need
It's cool.
mooks?
You have Elizabeth.
It would be
Elizabeth
really
is a
funny
mook?
if there's
Is
just
that...
a racist,
Well,
if there's
I'm
just
just
a
saying.
racist orphan throwing them extra ammo.
Oh, Jesus Christ. That is the thing, that we don't get enough of the street urchin stuff in this game. Like, it's there. There are scenes with street urchins, but you'd think for a turn of the century thing, there'd be more of them.
Well, there's not much children in this game because there's not many areas in this game where you don't kill every single living creature who isn't Elizabeth.
With machines. I'll give the old boy credit, though. It would be
And some robots.
There's also a child that
Great.
Elizabeth feeds an orange that doesn't belong to her, that was just sitting out.
See, that's an urchin. We could have more of that.
Ooh, Cohen's in Burial at Sea. I totally forgot. Ooh la la.
Ooh, maybe I should play Burial at Sea at some point.
Yeah,
It is better than
I'm
this.
thinking.
It straight up, because you're playing as Elizabeth, it straight up rejects all of these combat mechanics. It's actually kind of a light stealth
Yes.
game. It's still not great, but it's better than this. It does not play this badly.
Well, the plot itself also is a lot better. It has a lot more
Yeah.
emotion to it, I feel.
It is the best thing to come out of this entire game, is the DLC.
The design on this revolver is pretty
Yeah,
impressive.
it also tries to kind of fix some of the problems that this game creates with its plot and its horrible racist shit.
We haven't even gotten there yet. That's still a couple weeks away.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we're
Kinda
getting
like
there.
The frame of a Colt Walker.
Why are the-
It's got the ejection mechanism of like a Schofield.
Now, I know all about your little job for
Oh, Fink is a good-looking guy.
really want to take
Yeah, that's what it
He's
looks
not
like.
bad looking, I'm gonna say.
you know how many people
Get it? Good look at his little
this
face on the
game-
projector.
Would this game be better if Fink were the main antagonist and it was just like handsome jacking you the whole time?
I don't know. I mean, it would be more fun. Like
It'd be more
over
fun. It
Comstock?
wouldn't be.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be better. It would be Bioshock again, though, right? Like the problem is he's a radical capitalist.
Yeah, I guess.
But it's less like Fink isn't as what's the word? Like he knows what he's
not
about
principled.
and he's all for it. Like it's not just
Yeah.
there's no bullshit. There's no bullshit with Fink. He's like fucking work for me and I will pay you in pennies.
You get the sense
It's like
that
Andrew
the
Ryan's
self,
like the sweat of the brow belongs to the man.
Like Andrew Ryan believes his hype because it's like he needs to feel like he's the coolest, most special person in the world.
Yeah.
Fink believes his hype because it's
It's the
fun
stage,
too.
Josh. Go to the
Fink
stage.
is all
What?
business.
Where's the
Yeah.
safe?
The stage.
Like, why
Go to
wouldn't
the stage.
Fink make everybody
Oh,
treat
the
him like a god?
stage.
It's fun. He can.
Yeah.
It's a like he
Yeah.
can use his power. But like if he ended up broke on the street, like I think Andrew Ryan would lie to himself every step of the way, and Fink would just be trying to get back on top. Like he
I
doesn't
think that
really give a
Andrew-
shit at the end of the day.
Well, okay, so Andrew Ryan's whole thing is that he's kind of a hypocrite, right? I don't think that Fink is a hypocrite at all. He's
Yeah.
like 100%, I'm going to make you work for me and because you're not as good as I am, and that's just what's up.
Yeah, I mean, he's a liar, basically. Like, he's a grifter and a con man. But,
Oh,
like,
for sure.
Yeah, but, like,
But-
there's no, yeah.
I don't know. I feel like Andrew Ryan, like, smells his own farts more than Fink does, if you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
Absolutely.
Excuse me. Yeah, that's the other thing that the possession power does, is it suicides anyone you possess with it.
That's uncomfortable. I love to rip and tear, but that was fucked up.
Got a lock here.
I like how
Especially
every
given
lock
what's
in the
about to
game,
happen.
An hairpin lockpick is such a video game lock.
Pinkertons. They call us in when the workers got rushed.
I put my big old locks on the door.
The folly of men's strife.
They weigh 50 pounds each.
No, what are you doing with that lock there? Oh, it's just a nice lock for the door. No. We need a lock the size of a dinner plate. A lock with brass and gold.
I'm gonna say Fink should have been the bad guy. I'm just gonna say it. This game would be way more fun. It would just be very direct what this is about. It's about how people can take advantage of other people. Like, that's simple. He should have been the main bad guy.
I would certainly play a version of the game where Fink was the main villain a lot more happily, because like it really does cut through all of the bullshit.
Yeah, there's no
there's your now Josh heard. So that's your first, I think, real racial slur.
Oh yeah. I don't want to get like
the C word
too into this.
Was it the
like,
C word?
Yeah.
No, that's next. It was the G word.
Shit.
The C word is after we get back out.
Oh, fuck.
I don't want to get too into this, but I do think it's, like, I don't think it's an accident that, like, this is where they thought they could draw the line.
Yeah, I agree.
There's, like, a hierarchy of, like, what racial slurs. Yeah, right?
That makes me really sick. That's really gross.
It's like a hierarchy of racial slurs that people instinctively feel are worse and aren't. And boy, are we really coming to grips with that idea.
Done. Need some help with this.
Anyway. Stealing boots from a dead man.
I mean, if you put it like that, it sounds fucked up. But did you mention, Your Honor, that it was wrapped like a big present?
It was I thought it was an offering.
There's nothing wrong with stealing boots from a dead man, just so we're all clear here. He's already dead. Take his fucking boots. Who gives a shit?
What if he needs the boots in the afterlife?
He doesn't need them. Take them. You need them more.
There's a headline recently where a guy died, and then the nurse took his debit card and got a snack from the vending machine. And people, like, were very, like, we're very appalled at this, but I have to admit, I really found it hard to give a shit.
It's not like she took the debit card and bought herself a Tesla or something.
Right. I mean, it's obviously disrespectful. I guess that's people's problem with it, but just like...
I have full respect for the dead, okay? But if I'm, in the Wild West and there's a dead guy and he's got boots I want, I'm taking his boots.
Now we need to find someone else to make those guns.
So, here we are. This is the part where the game just breaks entirely. And then it will break again later because it gets even worse. But, so our convoluted plan to get the only airship that can take us off of Columbia, I guess, has fallen through now because we can't make guns for Fitzroy. And we can't make guns for Fitzroy. How can we possibly get a... How can we possibly get an airship, right? So we decide to go to an alternate universe where this guy isn't dead. And
at this point, what is the point of anything we're fucking doing anymore?
And it's not like we have to go and get the guns from him and come back here. No, we're just gonna go there and never come back.
And spoilers, like, we keep doing... Like, this is not the only time this happens. And it's like, once we accept this premise, that we're basically, like, just teleporting into alternate realities where bad things haven't happened, like, where do you stop doing that?
Yeah.
But it's not, it's worse than that, because as you'll see in a second, we just teleported to an alternate dimension where Chen-Lin is alive. And he's making all these guns for everybody, for the Vox Populi. But when we go back upstairs, that guard we watched murder himself violently about 10 minutes ago, will be waking up, and he will kind of have a fuzzy memory of who he was. So we skipped dimensions, but also kind of everybody skips dimensions.
What?
And it doesn't really make sense.
What the fuck? No.
It's not Rick and Morty rules. It's not like we just skipped to another dimension. We sort of rewrote reality. And some people who were dead kind of remember that previous reality.
No, dude. Just accept that there's multiple timelines, and you get to have fun in all of them. Like, this rewriting stuff is really stupid. That's so dumb.
It's clear that they realized that made things really unsatisfying if you're just, like, jumping to a different reality than the one you're fighting in, because it basically means that you fucked up and failed everybody in your dimension. But, like, here's the thing. If it's affecting the Prime timeline, that makes it even more stupid, right?
Oh, I hate that so fucking much.
So they,
like,
if we watch that video,
we could just keep jumping dimensions until we get to our favorite one.
You can change something like that.
Yeah.
Everything else remain the same.
And
so the video,
like, let me be clear. There may be an audio log or conversation I forgot about coming up that like hand waves that away for some reason. I don't care. Like, this is not a satisfying way for the story to progress. It's not like.
Wait a minute. What?
We walked away while it was going, but basically the version of the video in this dimension has the interrogators stopping the interrogation because the Vox Populi are arriving and they're coming to save him. So that's basically what happened: is the Vox Populi broke him out and the interrogators had to quit before they could kill him.
And then he like just vomited out hundreds of pounds of guns and ammunition and stuff.
And propaganda. So these characters right up here, I think, we're eventually gonna this.
Oh, fuck this. No, 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 no. No. I'm all for time travel is weird and we don't know how it works, but this is not how to do it, no.
I mean, it's kind of, they just kind of smorgasbord every kind of fucking alternate reality trope into this video game, into this sci-fi plot that increasingly makes less and less sense as we go.
What is going
Come
on
back.
here, Sansmark? Head of security, I suspect you're one to find out how these two slipped your men.
So yeah, it's complicated and weird, and this is where the game really starts losing people. And I want to be clear, it's not because of the fun sci-fi conceit, right? Like, Rick and Morty is incredibly popular, and it does weird sci-fi crap all the time. It's not the fact that there's a sci-fi conceit, it's that there's, like... It ruins the stakes. It makes nothing make sense, and we get nothing from it.
Because, like, that kind of sci-fi does a lot by stopping to examine the ramifications of, like, the spiraling existential crisis this introduces, whereas this game skates right over it and expects you to continue caring about the same stakes presented in the same way. Like, this is still fundamentally a story about Booker and Elizabeth getting on an airship and escaping Columbia. And it's just that they're suddenly doing that through metaphysical mechanics which have tremendous ramifications beyond this scenario.
Here's another question. Is it ever explained why we don't run into ourselves? Like, ostensibly, there is a Booker and Elizabeth here, right?
No, there's not. Wasn't that part of the point? Part of the point is that everybody gets merged. Those dead people are merged with their living selves. That's why they were saying, 2 in 1, there's 2 people in my brain. Which is the real one? Do I hate Booker DeWitt or do I not? I don't know, because I'm 2 people. That's what happened. So when you arrived here, you overwrote whatever Booker and Elizabeth were here.
But we're physically in the same place that we were when we moved into this dimension.
Yes, exactly.
So Booker and Elizabeth fought their way through Fink. Here.
Booker and Elizabeth
they didn't,
fought their way
Fink
through
was just
Fink
like,
and
how
their
the fuck did these guys get behind my security?
I wonder if there was a version of this game where that made sense, and then they had to rewrite it, and they just could not keep that going.
Or they just didn't notice.
Maybe there's no Booker in this? Is there no Booker in this? In this? Still
But like, and also, the DLC and the end of this game run on the logic that no, there actually are other different versions of these characters. Hell, I mean, who... The other twist of this game is that there definitely are alternate versions of these people.
Oh man.
Well, then I don't know.
It's
No, you're
Josh
right,
hasn't gotten this upset in a long time.
No, you're right. There is no reason we don't run into another Comstock and Booker, and you're right, or Comstock and Booker, another Booker and Elizabeth. And I remember thinking it's weird, because when we do finally meet up with Fitzroy in this dimension, she's like, "You're my Booker who died." I think that's the excuse.
Yeah.
I think Booker died fighting with her. I think.
Look at that killing motherfucker.
It's all very confusing, and it doesn't make sense. Remember, just earlier this week, we were talking about how the game couldn't figure out when conversations were supposed to happen, and we're breaking down the metaphysics of dimension hopping in this game, so...
You know what I think I hate the most about this, though, is that it's trying to cover up the plot holes with, like, really intense combat. It's not giving you enough time to really think about it, which I think is not cool.
I think I agree. It's just kind of like you just walk out here and you're suddenly drowned in the cacophony again.
Any other game would be like, look at this cool thing, look at this thing we invented, did you know you can do this? And you'd be like, cool, rad, awesome. And this game's like, don't think about it, just fight those guys.
Yeah, because that's the other thing, is that you immediately get back to the same old, like, so fluidly that you're expected to just kind of, like, treat this as, okay, this is just a satisfying thing that happens, I guess.
Which is really the plot of this entire game. The point of this game is that nothing matters, everything's the same. We're all gonna die.
Come on.
Trying is pointless. Don't try to help anyone ever.
Yeah, that is basically where this game goes.
The only cool people in this game are the ones that are like twins, but the same people, and they can do whatever they want. But you can't be them. You're not them.
Like, the one thing that was cool about that was, like, I do think that it's fun to have these characters who are just, like, weird and still not explained, who just kind of, like, appear for exposition at times. Like, that's fun.
Don't worry, the game explains them later.
I know, but, like, and I'm glad they did. Like, I don't think they should have remained unexplained forever. And it's a reasonably decent twist. Like, I don't have any major problem with Lutensis.
But Retzkarn, if you're spending the whole game being fucking miserable at this bullshit plot and this bad character and, like, weird dialogue, but then you see these two twins having fun, juggling, eating cheese, like, you get pissed. Like, fuck you, I want to be the juggling cheese eaters.
It does seem like, yeah, they're having much more fun than we are, and that feels wrong somehow.
So, we're a little over time now. I think this is a good place to stop before we head into the gun shop.
Alright.
For the second time, or
we
the never
We failed, but
time.
it doesn't matter, because we just went to a dimension where we didn't. Can we go to the dimension where Columbia's not racist?
No, that doesn't. There is no dimension where Columbia's not racist, because this is a very limited and specific form of multiverse theory
my
where nothing
head!
makes sense.
Do I hate Elizabeth? Do I like Elizabeth? I don't know.
Okay, can we go to the dimension? This is Team Fortress 2.
Peel's here.
Wait.
That's the wrong one.
Wait, everybody's got hats. Go to the one without hats. Go to the Team Fortress 2 with no hats.